On this episode of the John1911 Podcast, I finally found a 300 Blackout rifle that I like. The Ross Rifle Project is done. Kathy Griffin and the Burney brother lose their mind, and the Blue Oyster Bar in the Police Academy. Okay, good morning, everybody. This is Marky and Freeze, and this is episode 63 of the John1911 Podcast. How's your night, Freeze?
It's fine.
Yeah, right before we go live, he's telling me I probably don't know who Barry White is. It's like, dude, kiss my ass. I know who Barry White is.
Oh, well.
You're just salty because I didn't really know who the guy was in the Armory chat yesterday.
The guy? You're referring to him as the guy?
Who
You don't even know his name, do you?
No, I don't.
Oh my God!
Let me drink some coffee before we start. Yeah. So I guess was it one of the Allman brothers? Is that right?
Yeah, Greg.
Is it Allman or Almond?
Allman.
Okay. See, all right.
Yeah. Well, they're both dead.
Okay, so this was the last one. So well, this is like your version of Prince and Michael Jackson passing away?
Oh, wow. Ow, ow, ow. God, oh, man. I just got like shooting pains through my brain that you even compared Greg and Dwayne Allman to Michael Jackson. Oh, God. Wow.
Sorry. Look, I have a problem. And one of my shortcomings as a person is I did not grow up listening to the radio or music or.
Well, you grew up in the sticks.
Well, but things like like.
Look,
you make it sound like I was homeschooled, like one of them crazy Mormon people out. No, I just, like where I went to school and, private school. We didn't have, I never really even heard music.
I went to private school too, but, I grew up in a city where we actually had concert venues.
I never even heard popular music until I started to drive and there was a radio in the car.
Well, that's because growing up while you were homeschooled, you just listened to Gregorian chants all day long.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna get so much hate. Speaking of, we have not even chatted at all, so some of our listeners are gonna have to listen to some of our, I guess our admin stuff. Dude, I got an email yesterday from a guy, and he goes, "Where do I buy a T-shirt so I can get in one of these gun giveaways?" He signed up for the email list, and then he sent an email wanting to know how to get in on the gun giveaway, and I was like, oh shit. So I just laid it out to him just real quick. I see all the emails. Even if I don't want to see them. So I just block your ass if you send me something bad. But I told him, I said, we used to give the guns away. We're not doing it. We're not doing it right now because the last gun we gave away a bunch of guns, but the last one we gave away, a lot of people had a bad attitude about the gun and caused a lot of drama, so, I gave it up.
What was the last one we gave away?
We actually successfully gave away? The last giveaway we had was the Mosin Sniper, which I shut down because I got tired of the shit talkers on it. The last gun we physically gave away... Ooh. It wasn't the VP9. We've given away, dude, what, a Glock or two Glocks, a VP9, an M1 Grand...
Yeah, a shotgun.
Oh, that's right. We gave away the Mossberg 930. That was the kid in Texas.
Yeah.
So anyway, give this guy the quick response because everybody deserves a response, even if it's short. If I've got 500 emails to respond to.
Yeah.
And so I get a preview. Of his response to my response. I really can't see the whole thing. All I can see is the first couple words, and it says "selfish pricks." And I was like,
what?
You motherfucker. So anyway, I opened up the email, and he was talking about, he wasn't calling us selfish pricks. He was calling the people that were shit-talking guns.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I was like, wow. But seriously, because it was so out of control with the Mosin, that's where my mind immediately went. which is, there's a story there, just with with the Moe's. And look, we're not to the point yet because we're not even merchandising right now. I think we should probably start giving away guns again at some point because I think it's fun. Do you agree with that? I mean,
yeah.
I mean, not. We have to have something to kind of trade off with that. I mean, we'll do it again. It'll be cool stuff. But we're just, if you're listening and you missed the gun giveaways, they're not gone forever. I mean, it'll come back in some form, some way. We just, we're trying to do a bunch of other stuff. So, let me tell you about yesterday because we haven't talked. And we haven't really gone into this, and I have to be real specific. I'm going to talk about some of our range projects, Freeze, but we have to leave some information out for obviously privacy reasons. We've been setting up ranges for we have a lot of places that we shoot, professionally and personally, but a lot of times what happens is. We're having issues with where there's conflicts with the ranges. If we want to do stuff for John1911, we basically have to shut down a range. Because you can't have people, if we're trying to shoot something and record stuff, you can't have people talking. I mean, it really became an issue last year, and yeah. That's kind of where we're going. So we've been setting up a couple ranges. The East Coast facility is set up.
That's exciting news right there.
Yeah, we got lucky on that because there was another project that kind of fell apart, and so there was a bunch of work already done, and so we stepped in and moved a range over there, and we've got easily 1,200 yards on that range. And again, even on property, we could probably get 2 miles. We could easily get a mile. But right now we've got.
I don't have anything that can shoot a mile.
I know, but just to prove the point. So
yeah.
So we're looking for. I don't know what to call it because this range hasn't happened yet. We got Mitchell's range. But I mean, for right now, if we have an East Coast range, I would call this West Coast range. I mean, I don't know what to call it right now because it doesn't have a name because we haven't acquired it yet. So I'm out scouting properties, looking at stuff. I'm not going to say where. And so, there's agents and, just all kinds of people involved in this. There's legal stuff, there's liability stuff. There's just all kinds of shit going on with this. So, but anyway, out with looking at actual properties. And we're trying to find, ideally 1,000 yards, but, we've got access to 2,000 yard ranges already.
Yeah, and they're both within like 4 and a half hour drive. It's a distance, but it's not undoable.
Yeah, there's one closer, but that range is basically belongs to the military. And the problem with that range is, you can literally get bumped for you have to be in the military system. You got to have military certified range officers. You got to go to the trainings once or twice a year. You schedule the shit a year in advance, and you can still get bumped. It's just and again, you can't even guarantee for what we're doing.
Oh well, the thing is to set up to video, it's a nightmare.
Mm-hmm. Excuse me, taking a drink. So it would do all that shit, and there's people out there shooting like 240 machine guns. You just you can't. There's issues. So anyway. That's what kind of been going on in the background. So I'm out with this guy yesterday, and we're riding around looking at some stuff. I sent you some satellite photos with some measured distances.
I saw that.
And this one property where you can get, I probably got to put some shipping containers on the property. What I like about this is it's easy to get shipping containers there, but I can put a 2 and a single, so get them up too high. So you need 3 to make it safe. Put some ladders on it, and I know for sure we can get 950 But here's the thing, I don't even know if I want that. So anyway, yeah, I'm with this guy, and we had a couple other properties, and we're driving around, and we're in my truck because I got the 4-wheel drive. I don't know what guy who sells farm property and doesn't have a 4-wheel drive truck, but he doesn't. And I thought that was kind of odd. So anyway, we're bopping along, and his phone chimes. Ding. He's got one of these, I guess Droid phones, and he pulls out his phone. He looks at it, and he goes, "I work part-time at Amazon, and I just got fired."
Wow.
And I was like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah." He said, he goes, "I think it's kind of odd that they sent me an email to fire me." And I go, "Were you supposed to be at work today?" He was like, well yeah, but, I says, I had to show you properties. And I'm like, oh, fuck. I was just like, he's like, "Look, I told him that real estate is my full-time job. And, the Amazon stuff is part-time. It's not, whatever." So I was like, okay, so you were supposed to be at work today, but you blew it off to come look at dirt with me. So I'm not going to feel sorry for you.
Oh, man.
Hey, I was just like, I have never had that happen before. I was just like, what the hell?
But you know what though? I probably, when I say no, I'm talking about acquaintances, not like close personal friends. But I probably know 20 people that have worked for Amazon, and man, not one. Everyone says how great they are like the first month they're there, but I don't think I know any of them that have worked there for more than 6 months. And when they either leave or get fired, they're like, "Oh my God, the place is horrible." Apparently, they're a really horrible place to work for.
Amazon is going to be. I don't want to get too deep into this in a podcast. I would imagine Amazon is mostly warehouse work.
Well, it is,
Yeah.
and here's the thing: they have so many warehouses spread out across the country. I'm not saying our warehouse that's close to us, because just about everyone has an Amazon warehouse close to them. Maybe ours is like the worst one.
Amazon intentionally puts warehouses like across state lines, so they don't have to pay sales tax across state, or maybe not.
Like for example, the closest one is across the state line, but there's one less than an hour driving distance north. But we will never get any packages from Amazon from that one. We get the one across the state line. They purposely do that to avoid sales tax issues and stuff. And that's fine. But what I'm saying is, the Amazon that these people that I've run into work at, for all I know, that could be like the worst Amazon warehouse. And look, someone's got to be the best and someone's got to be the worst,
Right now, I just know we're going to get a goddamn letter from Jeff Bezos telling us to quit shit talking Amazon. I just know. How many goddamn letters can we get?
You know what? Bezos can blow me, and he can send us a letter on that too. Because look, the truth is, it's warehouse work. It's shitty work. And maybe they're a shitty company to work for, and maybe they're not. Everyone I've talked to says they're a shitty company to work for. Now, there might be someone listening that works for Amazon that loves their job, and that's great. And maybe our local Amazon here is just a crappy Amazon warehouse to work for, and maybe some are better. I don't know. But all I can say is I know I've interacted with at least 20 people, and that's not an exaggeration, that have worked there, and not one of them worked there more than 6 months, and not one of them had a whole lot of good things to say about it.
Yeah, it was just kind of it's a part-time job for, the kid's a hustler. He does some other stuff too. I don't want to say too much about it because I don't want to give him away. He doesn't really know too much about us. He knows, he knows what he needs to know. He knows what he needs to know. There you go. Yeah. See, you're much better at this than I am. Let's see here. Did you know there is a 300 blackout rifle that I finally am positive about?
I listened to the Armory chat. I was listening to it live while I was getting ready to go into work, and yeah, that's cool. It still doesn't do a damn thing for me. Doesn't make my bits and pieces tingle.
Well, here's the deal with it. It's a bolt action rifle. It's made by B&T. It's Brugger and Tomei. I think it's Brugger, or is it Berger? It's Brugger. It's B&T. They're Swedish. They're two different countries, but the B&T one of Henri Tomei's old business ventures. But it's a bolt action gun. It's short. It looks like it's got like a chassis system. The magazine almost looks like a G36 type mag, translucent mag.
Yeah.
But the entire barrel is basically a suppressor. So I wonder if that could be one tack stamp instead of two. But it's a 300 blackout, SPR 300, features a folding, fully adjustable stock, extended top rail. It does have an extended top rail for, like Simrad and stuff. Quick detach bipod. It comes with a bipod. That's why it's so goddamn expensive. An integrated suppressor. The suppressor reduces subsonic noise to 121 decibels with no flash. The can is removable and can be reinstalled without losing zero, because it looks like the goddamn can is the barrel. I mean, there's no barrel on this. It's a can. Designed for maximum accuracy up to 165 yards. It's also a takedown rifle. In two 10-round magazines. It comes with a little carrying bag because you can take it apart. Here's the deal with this. This is where I think 300 blackout, shines as a suppressed round, and in a bolt gun, for our purposes, like uber quiet.
Yeah.
For like urban shooting or animal deprivation, or for whatever reason, I personally don't have a need to dump 30 rounds suppressed of 300 blackout into a human at 5 yards across a room. But, maybe like a nice quiet animal gun and 300 blackout, subsonic ammo starting to show up everywhere. Here's the thing, the Delisle carbine copies, they're in 45 ACP. I mean, you're every bit, once you're into one of those, for, with tax stamps, you're probably looking at $3,000. I think they're about 20, 25, 26, and then you need 2 tax stamps for them, and you got to wait.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I mean, this gun can't be $3,000. This gun, I bet it's not 2. I bet it's like 25, 26. There could be an argument made that maybe this would be a better buy than the Delisle carbine for us.
Okay. Okay. I mean, I'm not gonna argue or dispute that. Maybe it is.
Just think about having a suppressed little mini bolt gun, and we could shoot coyotes off your deck.
Yeah. I mean, look. I mean, realistically,
and that's what I want the Delisle for, to shoot coyotes off your deck.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing is with the Delisle in 45 ACP, I mean, obviously you're going to have a lot more distance and range with the 300 blackout. I mean, round for animal deprivation, the 300 blackout's going to basically perform better than the 45 ACP. I don't know which one would be more quiet. I mean,
I'd be real curious. I mean, if you buy the subsonic ammo, like, was it 220 grain? Well, like 45 ACP ball ammo, 230 grain ball. I think the 300 blackout's 220. They're subsonic ammo, so you're kind of, okay. This is an interesting gun. I'm gonna price it, see if, if I can get them in this country. that could be an interesting gun.
Yeah.
So, I thought that might be.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't disagree with you on it. It doesn't do anything for me, but I mean, if it's available, I wouldn't be opposed to it.
Okay. So I just, because I don't want to be a hypocrite. So I just wanted to tell that to you. So.
No, I mean, look, I know a lot of people think that, that we hate on 300 Blackout. And I guess the truth is we do. But look, the truth is, with this particular platform that you're talking about, it's the first platform that I've even heard of that I thought 300 Blackout would even be worth wasting my time with. I just look, and I don't having an AR and a 300 Blackout. I think it's just stupid. Yeah, there's, you have a little SBR with a can on it and you're doing room clearing and stuff. Yeah. I get all that crap. But the truth,
the kids that buy those guns are doing that.
Yeah, but the truth is, give me a little 5.56 with some subsonic ammo with an with short barrel and a can, and I can do everything that 300 Blackout can do. And then when I step outdoors, I can throw regular, green tip in there and then just wreak havoc. At 600 yards.
Well, my thing is, you get these kids and they're buying 300 Blackout, putting them in an AR. They're not even suppressing it. They're running supersonic ammo. And, they're talking about how great this is. And it's like, you could just be shooting an AK.
Oh, exactly. Exactly.
It'd be cheaper.
And the thing is, it's not that I hate 300 Blackout just because I hate 300 Blackout. I mean, there's a lot of calibers I think are silly and not necessary. It's not just 300 Blackout, but I just don't see a reason for 300 Blackout. Now, this particular platform, you're talking about, a suppressed bolt gun. Yeah, you know what? I could be on board with that for, like animal deprivation, hell, even hunting, deer hunting.
Yeah, I just think, that's kind of interesting. And, if it's, $3,000 into a 45 as opposed to $3,000 into a 300 Blackout, it's like, that's interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
And the thing is, very few places are going to let you deer hunt with a 45 ACP. I think there are some states that allow it, but most won't, so.
I knew a woman, she shot a black bear with 45 ACP. In West Virginia. I don't know if that's legal or not, but she shot a black bear with one.
It depends on the situation. If she was hunting black bear, she was probably hunting illegal. If she was out strolling with her dogs and she came across a pissed off black bear, then hey, it's survival of the fittest and fuck legal.
Yeah.
I mean, that's at the end of the day, that's what that is.
Yeah, I was just,
Look, I'm not saying 45 ACP can't take a deer down, but do you want to shoot a deer at 100 yards with 45 ACP? No,
I don't.
Yeah, so especially when you get it, when you throw one in a suppressed gun.
Mm-hmm. So it's just interesting.
I mean, so in this particular case, dollar for dollar, the 300 Blackout is going to be a more versatile platform.
I was gone yesterday. I was looking at property, trying to have fun. And I don't know what the hell happened with Kathy Griffin with basically holding up a decapitated, bloodied Donald Trump head.
Okay, you know what?
And then now there's a video of her apologizing. It looks like a goddamn hostage video.
Well, okay. First off,
what the hell?
Okay, first off, yesterday morning, I saw the video. And I have to say,
it's much like
okay. Well, I saw videos of, the photograph, and TMZ was running it or something. Anyway, much like you and your knowledge of musicians, I'll be honest with you, I had no clue who Kathy Griffin was.
Oh, you don't know who Kathy Griffin was? See, now we're equal. See, now we're even.
Yeah.
You don't know her life on the D list?
No, seriously. I had no clue who the hell she was. She didn't even look familiar to me.
Yeah.
I guess she's someone famous.
No, not really. She's a comedian who never really achieved stardom, and then she basically took her failure as a like a mediocre personality-ite, and then made that a shtick. And her big claim to fame was she had a show called Kathy Griffin. I always want to call her Griffith. It's Griffin. My life on the D list, because she's not an A celebrity or a B celebrity or even a C celebrity. She's a D celebrity. And so, she lives in Hollywood, and she would, document how she would go around to these functions, and, people wouldn't know who the fuck she was. And that was her peak of her career. And she's not an unfunny person. I mean, sometimes she's more of like a comedian that focuses. She's a star fucker comedian. She focuses and shit talks other people in Hollywood, like celebrities. Well, she's kind of a gossipy comedian.
Well, apparently she shit talked her way out of being the spokesperson for Squatty Potty. And I've seen the advertisements for Squatty Potty on the they come up on your feed on.
They don't
Facebook.
come up on my feed. I don't know what's on your feed. The only thing that comes up on my feed is refinancing your mortgage and boner pills, and I'm like, who the fuck's talking?
Well, so anyway, after all the negative backlash, and I mean, look, she doesn't give a shit if Trump supporters hate her for holding up the severed head, because that just turns her on even more. But all of her quote unquote leftist buddies / peers / everyone on the left even came out and said, "Oh yeah, that's bad." And it is.
That's what got her. Yeah. It is bad.
And that's why she apologized. If no one on the left would have said squat about it, she'd have been right on trucking.
Yeah, of course. And look, we've actually talked about this before, and it's in the whole these, like, even before the election, these people that show up at the Trump rallies, and they're starting fights, and they're trying to quote false flag each other. And then, now they're the Antifa, and they're hitting people in the head with bike locks and just all kinds of crazy assaults and stuff. What's going to happen? These people, their ass is hanging out so far in the breeze, and they don't realize it, because all it's going to take is somebody to hurt one of these Trump people. Like, look, you like the theoret. I even hate to say shit like this, because fucking goddamn Secret Service. But so like something happens to Trump, and all these people are going to look like jackasses. But what they don't understand is, it's not even going to be that. Like, let's say, dude, what if some nut job shows up and somehow beats up one of Trump's grandkids with a baseball bat in New York City before they can pull this guy off? And this whole story, this whole narrative about, we are going to fight fascism, and the reality is you're the assholes that are out doing all this shit. The new Black Panthers, Antifa, all this horse shit, all this violence, and this thing turns on all these fuckers. And we're 4 months in his presidency, or 5 months, and we've got pictures of Kathy Griffith holding up motherfucker's head. We got videos of like professors beating the fuck out of people, and all of a sudden now you can tie in some nut job who hurts one of these people, hurts a Trump family member, and I'm telling you what, history is going to judge these people very poorly if they're not careful, because they are so vulnerable on some of this. It's unbelievable how ignorant they're behaving, because All you have anymore is your reputation. In the age of, new media is, you have to be able to justify everything you say and everything you do because you're being recorded at all times. And you know how like when after Lincoln was assassinated and they went through and they even Dr. Mudd. I mean, these people are going to be mud. I mean, it's going to be it's going to take. We're only 5 months into this man's presidency. Yeah. And this crazy shit. I mean, it's not. You don't have to be a goddamn mathematician, expert, predictive genius, to figure out that the odds are in the next 4 years somebody's going to tag somebody, and this narrative's going to turn, and these fuckers are going to be running for cover.
Okay, well, let me interject a couple things here. Okay. First off, did you hear, I think it was in Spokane, Washington, I could be wrong about that, but the guy who knifed a bunch of people, I think he knifed a cop and killed a couple people, wounded a couple people.
I've heard and the story's changed or something with him.
It's kind of dropped off the radar because the guy is a white supremacist, KKK, neo-Nazi. I don't know what particular organization he belongs to, but he is a white supremacist, hates Christians, Jews, blacks, the whole 9 yards. And the news jumped on it, hard until it turns out the guy's a Bernie Sanders fan. Voted for Bernie Sanders. And now that it turns out that he's a Bernie Sanders supporter, boom. Silence.
I heard there was supposedly a knife attack and he was screaming and raging about, Muslims or something. Mm-hmm. And then it was, okay, NPR, here you go. 4 days ago, white supremacist charged with killing 2 in Portland, or he killed people, so I didn't even know that. Yeah. Killing 2 in Portland, Oregon knife attack. We were all created equal, whatever. Yeah, this is the dude. Jeremy Joseph Christian. Here's his mugshot. And
you say it's Portland?
It's Portland. It looks like it's Portland, Oregon.
I knew it was up there in the...
You called it. You said it.
I think I said Spokane, but whatever. Spokane, Portland. Yeah, you say potato, I say potato.
But, Chipotle eating hippies. Okay. So, I guess I mean I was busy yesterday, but I guess he showed up at some kind of arraignment maybe yesterday, ranting and raving or doing something stupid, and they didn't really say, like, it was weird because they weren't really playing, at least what I could see, they weren't really playing the video of what he was actually saying. But then I heard supposedly he was a Bernie bro.
Yeah.
And so, do you know if is he? There's 2 types of people here, and this is a lot of people don't want to accept. They don't want to accept this. Is this like a intentional false flag type deal where he was really trying to make it look like somebody else and he was going to go down for this, or is he a borderline personality guy that's attracted to whatever's popular and then decides to take it too far? Because
I have no clue how this guy's wired. I really don't. I just found it interesting that, that for all of about 5 hours, this thing was hot in the news. And then when they found out he was a Bernie Sanders supporter and not a Trump supporter, it was like, yeah, we don't want to run with this.
See, I'm glad you brought that up because I actually wasn't quite up to speed on that. I'm way behind the news curve. So,
Okay, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm reading the thing. Go ahead. Let's see. In the midst of his ranting and raving, some people approached him and he appeared to try to intervene with his behavior. And some of the people that he was yelling at, they were attacked viciously. So I didn't know he killed people. Okay. 2 men killed as Ricky John Best, age 53, who died at the scene. Oh, here we go. Oh, here's a name. Oh, this person died too. I assume is this a man or a woman? Taliesin Miradin Namaki Michi, 23.
Yeah, I don't know.
So that person may have been the initial victim, maybe? Because that doesn't sound like, quote, a white name. I mean, I'm not even sure I don't know what the hell we're even actually talking about here. Like, this story's even like they've got the leader of the local Islamic center, and he's talking about, it started Ramadan, and this is sad, and we're being targeted, and whatever. Turns out, this isn't, the narrative is totally just falling apart.
Yeah.
So,
no, look, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I was just bringing it up as a data point. I found it interesting, but I've got a couple other data points.
Give them to me.
I posted an article, I guess, I don't know, over the weekend about a Civil War museum that's closing their doors because, all your social justice warriors, they're all, let's no flying the Confederate flag, let's take down the monuments, let's, basically, after, 8 years of liberal dominance, these douchebags have been just basically getting their way with a lot of things. And I posted an article about that because, I thought it was sad that the museum basically chose to close their doors opposed to just getting rid of all their Confederate artifacts and just running, Union artifacts. So, but I heard two different blurbs, and I don't have a lot of information on them. I just kind of caught them in passing. But apparently, North Carolina, who, if you remember when all this shit started, they had to take all the flags down off their monuments and state houses and stuff. Well, apparently, as of last week, North Carolina is allowed to fly the Confederate flag over their state houses again.
Really?
Yeah. Again, don't have a lot of information on it, but it's causing a bit of a stir. And the other thing is, I believe it's in Texas.
Well, Nikki Haley's not the governor anymore. She's the UN ambassador now. So she's the kind of person.
And Donald Trump's the president now too. So, things have changed politically. But here's the other thing. In Texas, of course, New Orleans has taken down all their Civil War monuments and all that stuff. It's happening kind of like all over the South. Mm-hmm. Texas. And I heard a blurb on this, I think it was yesterday or the day before. Apparently the governor signed something into law. Basically in Texas, you cannot remove I think it's Texas. You can't remove a Civil War, Civil War monument, Confederate based monument, because that's what they're talking about. Mm-hmm. You can't remove the monument, you can't tear it down, you can't relocate it. If your school's the Robert E. Lee Grammar School, you can't change the name. If the monument or the school name or whatever the issue you're having with the Confederacy, if it's older than 40 years, you can't touch it. If it's younger than 40, apparently you can. Or something like that. And like I said, I don't know all the hard details on it because I just caught it in passing, but I thought that was interesting too. And what this is doing is this is showing that, while Barack Obama was president and basically all these liberals got their own way on everything, now we're kind of seeing the tide turn a little bit here. And I mean, Trump's only been president for 5 months, but, you see little snippets of this, and it's like, okay, a year from now, how much pull or clout or stamina are all these little snowflake social justice Antifa people going to have? When Barack Obama was president, if a white cop shot a black thug, right, wrong, or indifferent, we can riot, and guess what? No one's going to do a goddamn thing about it. Hell, if you're the mayor of Baltimore, you're going to say, "Go for it, dude."
And Berkeley too.
Exactly. So what I'm saying is, now that we have, Trump is the president, the political, atmosphere has changed, you're seeing a little bit of a turn here. So I'm just saying, I wonder, how much steam are these people going to lose over the, say a year from now when they're not getting their way? Or they're being held accountable. Do you think, like the professor that whacked that dude with the bike lock, honestly, do you think if Barack Obama was president, he'd even be going to court?
I don't know about that one. I'll tell you what, the bike lock guy, the professor, is really, really interesting, because basically what happened is, was it 4chan or Reddit or one of these groups?
I think it was 4chan.
Yeah, and I don't even actually know what 4chan is. I just know that Milo talked about buying it. So, but I guess they all got together and they basically did image searches and profiles and hunted down and did basically, like investigative police work, data mining, and they figured out it was this dude. Now, it's going to be interesting because I wonder if there's enough evidence to actually convict him in a court of law. That's going to be real curious. I mean, we all believe this guy is the guy, and we are all pretty sure we think this guy's the guy. But I wonder if, in the end of the day, there's actually enough evidence to convict him beyond a reasonable doubt of a crime in a court of law. That's a really, really interesting case that a lot of people aren't paying enough attention to, because, again, this is another example of, you're listening to this podcast, and we've been warning about this shit for years. I mean, right now in the armory, okay, I've got a computer, I've got a laptop, I've got my phone, and actually, there's actually a couple more phones in here because we use them for other stuff. So in this room, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's at least 7 cameras in this room. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 microphones in this room. I mean, my point is, I mean, with all the televisions with the microphones and, all the Alexa voice and you don't have any real expectation of privacy. You're going to be doing stuff and you're going to think that nobody's watching. And the truth is, everybody's going to be watching, and so you need to behave as if, it's like the new religion, whether it's the sky god or whether it's the internet god or whatever you want to believe in. At the end of the day, how you behave when you think nobody's watching, you're not going to get away with it. So you better start behaving right.
Well, and here's the thing. Let's say this guy does actually get convicted. All these Antifa people. Yeah, I love it how they get together like Trump rallies or like a Milo speech, any conservative who's speaking, they get together and they riot. And I love how they call conservatives fascists, but they're the ones that are wearing masks. They're the ones that are attacking people. They're the ones that are, kicking in Starbucks windows and like mainlining, I don't know, the dark blend, But the thing is, if this guy's convicted, I don't know if they're smart enough to realize this, but it's like, okay, now when I go out there and I'm doing wrong, maybe now I need to double think about that mask, because that mask didn't do him a whole hell of a lot of good.
I mean, oh, by the way, yeah, the person who had the strange name is a male. Looks like he's a white male. Yeah, I mean, again, these people, they think they're getting away with stuff. Here, I got some more information on this guy in Portland. From what I can tell, straight up, this dude is a white supremacist. And Nazis are socialists.
Yeah.
Surprise, they're Nazi Nazi nationals is the Germanized version of National Socialism. He's a white supremacist. There's something here. What's that guy's name? He's known in Portland. Christian appeared. Let's see here. Let's see here. Chanting the N-word, fascist salutes. He's got a record. His Facebook page, check this out. He's definitely a Bernie supporter. He's definitely a socialist. I want a job in Norway. No, hold on. That's not right. That's not the right one. He's got another one. Here we go. I'm an ex-con. I like comics, C-O-M-I-X, cannabis, and metal in any combination. If you are an employer, fuck off. Again, let me read that again. I'm an ex-con.
How old's this guy?
He's under 30. I'm pretty sure he's under 30. He's in his probably late 20s. I'm an ex-con. Let me spell this out. I'm an ex-convict. I like comic books. I like weed. I like metal, heavy metal. And if you're an employer, fuck off.
Man, works for me.
His last name's Christian. He's definitely like a communist. Let's see here. He looks like he's hooked in with that Vineland group. Vinland. He's a supporter of I call it. It's I guarantee you don't know who this guy is, because you're not. I guess I shouldn't say this either, because I mean, about the sandwich slit my own throat. There's this dude. What the hell is that goddamn guy's name? I don't want to say the wrong name, because if I say the wrong name, we're going another goddamn letter. He's this like internet celebrity, internet personality. He's an author, and he writes books, and his entire genre of books is about men and masculinity and tribes and tribalism. Like he fights back against, a weak, effeminate men, which, okay. His idea of masculinity, which, okay, fine. But it gets really interesting with this dude. This dude is gay. And I think a lot of people that follow him don't realize this. He's gay. And he apparently what started all this is he's a gay guy, but he's not like a Twinkie gay guy, and he resented being called a Twinkie gay guy. He's more of a what's the Blue Oyster Bar in that police movie? You remember, like they walked in.
Police Academy.
Yeah, Police Academy. He's more of a.
So he's one of the guys that wears the leather chest harness and the biker cap.
Like one of those daddy biker looking guys. And seriously, he looks like. And so he looks like if you were to Google the epitome of, Google an image for white nationalist skinhead dude, this guy, his picture actually might come up. And so what started him on this entire, and again, a lot of people don't realize this dude's gay, but then he's involved with this, and they made a reference in one of these stories about this guy, about the Christian guy who slit the people's throats. He's hooked into a group called Vinland, Vinland, and that was on some of our hate group lists, because there's a group that's outside of they're in Virginia. They're in son of a bitch. Where is it? Outside of Winchester? They're in Virginia. They're on the East Coast, and there's a bunch of them up in there. And then they've now moved out to Oregon or somewhere up there. And actually, this gay dude, who's like the chief of all these guys, he's setting up a new colony or new whatever up there in hippie USA. And this slit your throat guy looks like he's probably part of that. And surprise, they're socialists. And surprise, they don't like capitalism. And surprise, they don't live in a real world, and they can't have fucking jobs. And 30-year-old fucking guy fucking reading comic books. I mean, I don't have a problem if you read comic books. You can do it after you get off your fucking job. You know, go fucking get a job first and then spend your money how you want. I spend my money on guns. You can spend your money on comic books. I don't care. But yeah, this dude is. Here's the thing. It's half true. This dude is a stone cold white supremacist. Oh wait, according to online, he's 35 fucking years old.
Oh man, he's a comic book guy. Yeah, comic book, video game, heavy metal, fuck work.
Nothing wrong with heavy metal, but it's just, I mean, goddamn, grow up, get a fucking job, I mean, this guy's, but it turned out, guess what? He's a socialist, communist, whatever douche. So, and he's,
but see, when this first happened, and just typical with the liberal media, they find out the guy's name. Oh my God, he's a white, he's a white supremacist, white nationalist, call it whatever you will, and he's shouting, I don't know, Heil Hitler or whatever the shit he was, yelling, and they ran with it. And it's like, because they just automatically figured he was a Trump supporter. And then when they started actually looking into it, and it took you all of 2 minutes to find this information, and when they started looking into it, it's like, oh crap, he's a Bernie supporter.
Oh yeah.
Oh, let's backpedal this. And like I said, the story's gone dark, man. No one's talking about this guy.
Okay, here's the Vinland crew. And again, they don't portray that. And look, I don't claim to know everything about, because I have a cursory understanding of a lot of these people, because I'm juggling 100 of these groups. You know what I mean? I mean, I gotta keep track of all these fuckers. Yeah. So the guy who's kind of like the patron saint of these people, his name is Jack Donovan. Okay, and he's the gay guy. He's the Blue Oyster guy.
The blue.
That's, I don't know how to, dude, I literally don't know how else to describe this dude. I mean, remember the Mad Max show where there were all these crazy bald muscular guys that were violent as fuck, and then there were all these weird bisexual undertones.
Yeah,
dude, I'm serious. That's this guy, and I'm dead serious, dude. I mean, that's the Jack Donovan guy.
That's awesome.
And I'm not saying that maybe some of his work, and maybe I haven't really consumed his work, but he's real big into. He has some points about how modern society has, don't want to let boys be boys, and don't want to, being masculine is not politically correct at all. And we all know this. And so this guy just happens to have fallen into that, even if he's a broken clock, he's right at least twice a day. So, this Jack Donovan guy, and so he's doing the Vinland thing. And Vinland, let's see, Virginia, let's see here. Maybe Vinland's up there in Washington State. But anyway, that's, that dude's definitely a white supremacist. But again, it's to get back to these borderline personality people, they are attracted to sensationalist stories and sensationalist storylines. So, it's not uncommon for borderline people to all of a sudden, they're not Muslim, they're not religious, they're not even living in a part of the world, but they all of a sudden are attracted to the news media coverage of radical Islam, and they decide they want to be a suicide bomber. It's not because they're really true believers, it's because they're fucking nuts. And there is a crossover. These guys can go anywhere. I mean, they cross over into being Nazis. They'll cross over into being fucking Muslims. They'll go down to goddamn Belize and drink the Kool-Aid. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's these borderline personalities. This dude that sliced all these people's throat, he's probably he's a borderline dude. His arrest record, oh my God, he has like weapons charges. I think he's got kidnapping charges, assault charges. I mean, he's got a goddamn frickin', dude, he's got a rap sheet as long as my arm before he killed these people. Think about that shit.
Well,
And surprise, guess what? He's a guy who lives on the edge of society. He's not productive, and he probably lives on some kind of, combination of community control and social welfare. And
I have no doubt. I mean, the guy doesn't work. The truth is he's probably, if I had to guess, I'd say he's probably pulling some kind of disability bullshit.
Oh, yeah. All these fucking guys. I'm a sovereign citizen until you want that welfare check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get on disability. I can get my free pot.
Hey, speaking of free pot, Drug Ring distributed pot disguised as Uber Eats delivery service.
That's awesome. Awesome. Hey, you know what? It's funny you mention that. About 10 years ago, it's probably been a good 10 years ago, we used to have in the neighborhood an ice cream truck that would drive around, play the music, ding, 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 and it'd drive around the neighborhood all summer long. I've never told you this story. Well,
because it's probably not podcast safe.
No. It is. It's actually kind of funny.
It's okay. Like an ice cream. Now, oh my God.
No, seriously.
Okay.
And, you don't think anything of it because, I remember ice cream trucks as a kid. It's like, hell, man, the ice cream truck that used to come to our neighborhood was called Mr. Softy. It was a blue and white truck with like an ice cream cone on the top, and it'd come around playing the music. We all went crazy for it. But the weird thing is, where I live, we don't have sidewalks. We don't have street lights. There's no kids in the neighborhood. Hell, my closest house is several hundred yards away, So it's not really, if I'm an ice cream truck guy and my living basically, I make money or not, depending on how much ice cream I sell, I'm not hanging out in my neighborhood because there's no business. Well, it turns out ice cream truck dude got busted. He was selling pot and crack too. That's why he was cruising around the neighborhood, because apparently there's enough people in the neighborhood buying pot off the dude.
Really?
Yeah, really. Yeah. Yeah, ice cream truck dope guy.
Yeah, that's, I've heard some of those before. Do they even still have those now? Because, of all the liability and, that was like Pedophile Central, turns out. Dude, when we were kids, we never really, maybe there were kids getting snatched all around me, and I just didn't know it, but.
Well, that's because on the compound you were raised in, the ice cream trucks, they played the Gregorian chant. No,
I've officially lost control of this podcast.
No, actually, they do. I know a guy. He works armed security out of Dayton, Ohio, and he does armed security part time at night, and during the summer he drives an ice cream truck.
Okay.
Yeah. Apparently they're at least in Dayton, Ohio, there's ice cream trucks.
So remember how we talked about, Kathy Griffin and all these people who are saying all this shit about Trump and his family, just all this nasty crap, and how all that's going to happen is someone's going to tag the wrong person and his story's going to turn and all these people are going to get screwed. Dude, this literally just came across the wire that I'm seeing. Man at D.C.'s Trump Hotel found with guns, ammo, and in car, police say. A Pennsylvania man staying at Trump International Hotel in Washington, D.C. was arrested Wednesday morning after he was found with weapons and ammunition. Brian Moles, 43, of Edinburgh, Pennsylvania, was arrested inside his hotel room around 2 a.m. Police allegedly found a Glock pistol, a Bushmaster rifle, and ammunition inside of Mole's car, which was parked outside of the hotel on Pennsylvania Avenue Northwest. I know right where this is fucking at. I know where this hotel's at. One of the weapons was in plain view inside the vehicle. Moles was arrested inside his hotel room. He was charged with carrying a weapon without a license. No injuries were reported. You know, maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's not. But here's, again, this is where you can't even think of, quote, the tag that I'm talking about. Look, if somebody shows up at a Trump hotel, and there's Trump hotels all around the world, and shoots up the fucking place, what's going to happen to people like Kathy Griffin and the freaking professor and
who was it that said they should burn down the White House or
that was Madonna. I think Madonna. Up the White House.
Yeah, okay. Okay, look at Robert De Niro.
I would take it seriously if she said it in her Michigan accent.
Yeah, probably, but like, look at Robert De Niro. I punched that mug in the face, Robert De Niro's turned out to be a freaking wacko in his old age, all these celebrities that have actually leveled threats, they'll be tripping you over each other trying to backpedal this shit if something crazy.
And it's not going to take a big hit. It'll take tagging something that's associated to Trump that would not have normally been tagged. I just can't believe some of these people, just how not thinking. I mean, look, if you complain about Donald Trump and his Twitter, but you're out there saying shit about Donald Trump like this, dude, I mean, we just don't know what the fuck's going to happen. I mean, it just occurred to me, all these hotels, all it's going to take is there's going to be an incident at one of these hotels that he's no longer involved in, and it's going to be, well, who is for violence against the Trump family?
Yeah, well, here's the thing. For the last 8 years, these douche nozzles have been able to run amok. They've been able to say shit like this without being held accountable for their actions. And I'm telling you, if something happens, man, these people are going to be scrambling. They're going to be ducking for cover. I didn't say that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. In this day and age, it's kind of hard to get away with I didn't say that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's just amazing to me how just ignorant some people are. And that's the beauty of the First Amendment. I mean, and again, you got all these liberals coming out that are like, was it Portland? I mean, one of these mayors just yesterday was talking about, we got to shut down this First Amendment rally or something. And it was just like, Jesus. Dude.
Yeah, I heard a blurb on that. It's just like, really? Are you kidding? Really?
Mm-hmm. Hey, I want to mention something because I was asked about it, but I forgot to do it on the Facebook Live on the Armory chat. It's about the ICBM testing, or the ICBM missile shoot down that we did.
Yeah.
Kim Jong, which I don't remember. I
don't know.
Is it Kim Jong-un now?
Yeah, I think it's Kim Jong-un.
Yeah, I always want to remember his dad and his granddad. But the Kim Jong-un, so little Kim, and he's got his missile program. I know a fair amount about it. And he's got a space program. He's got a short-range ballistic missile program. He's got a submarine-launched ballistic missile program. He's got a transporter. I mean, they're doing like TEL launchers. They drive around. They're possibly looking at doing railroad cars. They've got all kinds of shit going on over there. They export. They're updating. Just all kinds of shit they got going on. So they're firing some stuff. So we did a test yesterday. Our main missile testing, The United States military's main missile firing test facility is Vandenberg Air Force Base. I think it's Air Force Base. Yeah, Vandenberg in California. It's on the coast. And so, you can shoot shit out into the Pacific Ocean and it won't hurt anybody.
Yes.
And so that's where we do. So, but it also is it's not a bad location to have missiles in case you want to shoot down stuff coming into the U.S., over the North Pole. Our main facility for shooting stuff down is in Alaska. We also have some stuff in Poland, and I can't remember if we actually did set up something in the North. There was talk of setting something up on the East Coast or in the Northeast, but I don't believe it's operational. So here's my point. So what a lot of people don't realize is, okay, let's say Kim shoots a missile at the United States. Will the U.S. Navy, because of the SM-2, SM-3 missiles, will the U.S. Navy shoot that down? No. They won't, and they can't. And here's why. If people, when they look at a map of the world, and this is, even the media doesn't report this, Kim isn't going to fire a missile across the Pacific Ocean towards California. That's the long way around to the barn door. The world is round. It's shorter to shoot over the North Pole. For example,
round,
yeah.
The hell you say?
Yeah, I know, flat earther. So anyway, my point is, when we were going to have, if we were going to have a nuclear war with the Russians, all their land-based ICBMs and even some of their whatever, that's going to come over the North Pole. They're going to fire. The shortest distance is over the horizon, up the top. Well, if you look at where North Korea is, they border China and Russia. They're going to fire over the North Pole. That missile is immediately going to fly over pretty much Russian territory. It's never going to really be over the ocean. We're not going to detect it and be able to shoot it down in its boost phase. So the only real shot that we're going to have, no pun intended, to bring it down is going to be through their missile defense stuff in Alaska. Here's the downside. Again, the media doesn't ever want to report this, okay? So we detect missiles coming up over the horizon. We get the firing solutions. The typical argument would be for every missile that we detect, we'd fire a battery of 5 anti-ballistic missiles at it. As to what kind of, quote, kill vehicle we would be using, that I don't officially know. I'm not entirely convinced that we wouldn't have nuclear weapons, as opposed to kinetic kills, stuff that runs into stuff. Again, but you never know. There's official position, but there's always, I always wonder if maybe there's a couple nukes in those ABM systems, just because more better. Well, here's the problem. We're going to be engaging missiles coming from Korea, probably over Russia. So we're going to be shooting missiles at Russia over, a Korean missile over Russian territory. So let's say we fire 5 missiles against one ABM. Statistically speaking, they say you have a 95% chance of a kill or something. I remember what it is, but you fire 5 of them. You try to zero out the percentage of missing, or some unknown error that or malfunction that we haven't detected in operations.
Sure.
So let's say there's 4 missile. The first missile, the one missile gets a kill. It's a kinetic kill. Then there you got 4 missiles. You have to detonate them.
You have to
detonate them, or they're flying over. They're going to land in Russia. This is such a clusterfuck of monumental proportions that people just don't realize. We are not prepared. This country, we do not have an actual integrated missile defense system. See, what happens is, and this is what goes on in Korea, and this is what goes on in the Middle East, and all that kind of stuff. See, is people think, they assume that all this is integrated. So, there's the THAAD system in South Korea that's pointing north. I think there's now 2 THAADs, but there's one for sure. It's on the 4th hole of this freaking golf course. It's on a little hill. So you want to be when you and I are shooting long range, you want to be up on a hill so you can see farther. It's the same thing. So we got like a Patriot system, a THAAD system, and then you've got like the systems in Vandenberg and, in Alaska. They're not integrated in talking to each other. It's not like, okay, fire these. We missed. Go first base misses. Go to second base. Second base misses. We'll get him at third base. These are all operating independently, and they may or may not detect or see things. And I mean, we could probably bring down a missile. We hope. I mean, you want to get it before it comes in, like terminal, before it comes in on its final dive. Yeah. Like the MIRV individual warhead, because it's coming in so fast. It's like hitting a bullet with a bullet. That's really hard to do. You like to get it mid phase or boost phase. You're not going to get it boost phase. You like to hit it at the top of the arc up in the atmosphere. But the chances that we're able this missile test that we did yesterday is great. It really is. But if you think we are in a position to truly defend ourselves against, a single missile could get through. It is possible. It is not like, I ain't going to get one through. A single missile from Korea, if they can get it over us, it might actually hit something.
You're right. I question where it's going to hit. Truth is, it probably wouldn't make it past Alaska. Might even land in Canada.
The latest range of their, is it the Musadon? I can't remember which one it is. They've got one that I think it's the Musadon. It can hit there. In theory, it could hit Portland. It could hit the Northwest. They are claiming, North Korea was claiming, it was like a year or so ago, they were claiming that they could even hit Austin, Texas. It was bullshit. Like,
North Korea claims a lot of stuff.
They have a missile program that will be able to reach Washington. It's not really flushed out and functional and tested yet, but they have a missile that if they can get the kinks worked out, it could hit the Northeast, maybe Montana, maybe a little bit farther south than that.
Honestly, if they do have one that they can, maybe kick a little bit more distance on, and it makes it through our defenses, man, I'm thinking the San Andreas Fault would be a really good target.
Yeah.
Because, honestly, a little slippage into the ocean solves a lot of problems for the rest of the United States.
Oh, now, come on, Kathy Griffin. You can't be saying shit like that.
Well, hey, I didn't fire the missile.
Fuck.
Talk to old Kim.
Yeah, so anyway, I just wanted to get that out there, and I know it bores the fuck out of you, but it was in the news yesterday, and I wanted to get it out there so I can save a bunch of emails on it. Hey, did you see the video of the Turkish presidential detail beating up the people in Washington, D.C. when Erdogan was here?
No, I didn't.
Oh,
but I'm already chuckling.
So Erdogan, who's a fucking jackass, the Sultan of fucking Turkey now.
Yeah. Douche nozzle.
And he's a piece of shit. He really is. He's gonna be a problem. So he visited. So he has a detail that travels with him, and we pulled all of our nuclear weapons out of Turkey and all that kind of stuff. So he's in town to meet Trump, and so there's a Turkish embassy. It's in Embassy Row. If people of Washington, there's kind of area where it's called Traditional Embassy Row, where there's a bunch of embassies that are they're together. So anyway,
I'm familiar with Embassy Row.
So,
quite familiar with it, actually.
So it's since it's in the news. So there's always people that are pissed off at the Turks. It's either going to be the Armenians talking about genocide in World War I, or it's going to be Kurds who are people that are pro-Kurds. So they decide to have this big goddamn rally. I mean, it wasn't that many people, but they're protesting in front of the Turkish embassy in Embassy Row in Washington, D.C. And the security,
Mass Avenue.
the security service, they're saying it was some of Erdogan's personal. I don't know if Erdogan was probably at the embassy at the time, but a big fucking fight broke out, and it looks like embassy staff members or people traveling under diplomatic flag, were out there beating up protesters. And this, I just can't even believe that this hasn't turned into like a huge international incident.
Well, okay, here's the thing. Remember the story about the college kids that went to Israel and the one girl got ran over by the bulldozer?
Oh, yeah.
Well, here's the thing. A lot of these little snowflake protesters get away with shit here in the United States.
Just to prove a point, give me the punchline again of that story and then go into the story so people can be prepared for it. Remember your punchline? In Israel, the bulldozer doesn't stop.
That's right. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, bottom line, here in the United States, if you chain yourself to a tree, 10 out of 10 times the bulldozer will stop for you. In Israel, 0 out of 10 times the bulldozer will stop. Chain yourself to a tree, you're going to get bulldozed with the tree. Bottom line. So, anyway, same thing. In Turkey, they don't, in Turkey, rioters in Baltimore don't burn down the town. Rioters in Ferguson don't burn down the town. They send the military in and burn down the rioters. It's just the way it is. I'm not saying it's right, but it is the way it is. So you get protesters in front of the Turkish embassy. Well, they just send their goons out there to beat them down because that's what they would do back home. And hey, they got diplomatic immunity anyway, so what the hell?
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I mean, it's.
I don't really care.
I know.
Look, I mean, I know the guy's an asshole, and Turkey's a problem, or well, it will be.
I feel bad for the legacy of Ataturk. I don't know. Kemal Ataturk was truly one of the great people who could get. I mean, Kemal Ataturk is truly the answer that the Middle East needs to get out of this, Stone Age political Islam mentality. And Ataturk pulled Turkey out of that bullshit and created modern Turkey after the Ottoman Empire. And, his model worked, and Erdogan has destroyed it.
Yeah, well.
And it's really a shame. And no one talks about that. I mean, if anyone doesn't know who Kemal Ataturk is, there's some really good books written about what he was involved in and what he did. He achieved fame. If any of those people that ever watched the movie about any of the movies about Gallipoli, you remember the movie, like they had like, how fast are you? Fast as a leopard. How fast are you going to run? Fast as a leopard. Like the guy got shot. That is all Gallipoli, and I think Ataturk was one of the colonels at Gallipoli that was responsible for the successes the Turks had there. I mean, so he was a secular military dude. He wasn't a religious dude, and just what's happened is just a damn shame. Yeah. So okay, you know what? We've kind of prattled on for a while. What's going on with the Ross rifle?
It's done. It's done. I just have to shoot some pictures of it and do a write-up on it.
Cool.
Turned out really well. Looks damn nice.
Take those pictures outside.
I will.
I'm excited to see it.
I just haven't had a chance to do it. I've been busy the past couple of days.
Yeah, I know.
Holiday weekend. I mean, how it is.
Holiday weekend, and now you're working this week, and I don't expect, I told you, don't even worry about checking it back in right away. What's the farthest, if we get the new range set up, what's the farthest in your shooting career have you ever fired a 303 round?
I took a number 4 Mark I out to 500 yards, and I was shooting a 5-gallon bucket, hit it 10 out of 10 times at 500 yards. I mean, I never put it on paper.
With a scope or iron sights?
No, with well, the number 4 has a like a ladder sight on it,
it's
like
got
a micrometer.
Nice yeah,
it's got a micrometer sight, and I was using that.
That's good shooting, dude.
It's a pretty nice sight. But I was banging a 5-gallon a 5-gallon steel bucket at 500 yards.
See, back in the old days, back when dinosaurs roamed the earth and you had to walk to the range in 6 feet of snow uphill both ways, we didn't have steel targets. You had to use steel buckets.
Well, actually, this wasn't at a range. It was at a farm, and that was the target that of choice, because we went over to the junk pile, and it's like, well, I'm not going to hit a beer can at that range, so grabbed a 5-gallon bucket, and we ran it out to 500 yards and shot across a cornfield. Of course, there was no corn in it, but
yeah.
And like I said, drilled it. I mean, I love the number 4 Mark I's. I mean, I love those rifles. They're accurate. They're fun to shoot, and they're 303 is a great round. I love the 303 round, and Enfields are heavy enough to where I mean, there's really, the recoil on them's not bad, obviously I would like to sit there and say, I was standing up, offhand, but I wasn't.
No.
No, I wasn't. I'd like to say I was, but I'm not that good. But yeah, no, I love the 303. And actually, the sights on this Ross rifle are pretty nice.
Yeah, are they damaged, or are they? I mean,
No.
Are they usable?
Yeah, oh yeah, they're usable. They're in good shape.
Okay, so I mean, when we get some of this stuff done, that'll be awesome. Oh, by the way, the more info's come out on the guy at the Trump Tower, or at the Trump Tower, the Trump Hotel, Trump International Hotel. That's the old post office. I think that's the old post office.
In D.C.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe it is.
It's a big square. So he had a Glock 23, and they are this is being reported as a Carbon 15 Bushmaster. Now, I remember those. Those were like those really lightweight.
Mm-hmm.
Those were actually kind of neat guns. I don't know if they hold up, but I liked how lightweight they were.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well,
look, this guy may or may not have been up to no good, but bottom line, it doesn't look good. Do we know anything about this guy?
Glock. He carries a Glock 23. Oh, I hate that gun. I carried one of those for a couple of years. Let's see here. It is unclear what Moles' reason was for traveling with the weapons and ammunition. There's a specific reason why he chose President Trump's hotels. He posted on 26th of May on his Facebook page, if you had to choose between a Hilton hotel and a Trump hotel, which would you choose and why? It seems innocent enough. And then one of his friends responded, it's a no-brainer for me. Hilton. One doesn't attend Hilton University and go to the dark side. LOL. Then he replied, I beg to differ. And which one is the dark side? You mean like Darth Vader? Because that dude is a boss. So I don't know if he's an anti-Trumper or not. I don't know what this dude is.
Yeah, I don't know.
He likes Klosterhaller beer, though.
I never heard of Klosterhaller beer.
You know what? Neither did I. But
But I'm not a beer drinker.
Yeah, I was hoping you would, because I don't drink.
I'm not a beer drinker. And I know, look, I was talking to a guy last night about all these beer guys. They're guys in their mid 20s to mid 30s. They wear the tight girl pants and the flannel shirts
the
and
tight girl pants.
Yeah, the skinny
got your
jeans.
little sister's pants on, boy.
Yeah, no, they have the skinny jeans and they wear flannel shirts with suspenders and bow ties, and they have the big bushy beard and the mustache that they wax into the curly point, and they all hang out at like these micro brew places like Rheingeist and and all that, and they're these micro beer snob guys. I mean, they're just kind of douchey guys, but that's kind of
enthusiasts.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of a big thing right now. And I mean, that's fine at being a beer enthusiast. I mean, I don't drink.
How is that any different than a 1911 enthusiast?
1911
some of those 1911 guys.
No,
some of those 1911 guys wax their fucking mustaches too in little points.
1911 guys don't wear skinny jeans and flannel shirts with bow ties. Boom.
God almighty.
And if they do, I'm officially taking their man card from them.
So you are a resident racing expert, and again, I'm almost not even like prepared today, because I'm just kind of winging this one. These people can probably tell. Were you offended that a Japanese guy won the Indianapolis 500 on Memorial Day weekend?
Oh no, that's Indy racing. They have all nationalities in there. Who cares?
Yeah, I mean that's it's like, but I guess some guy. Probably a liberal. I mean, I don't know that. I shouldn't say that. You're probably a douchebag. I'm not. I don't know if I'm comfortable with the Japanese.
No, I mean, look. If you look at the Indianapolis 500, the Indy racing circuit is global. See, like NASCAR's just here in the United States. I think they've run a few races in Japan, but racing's big in Japan, and but Indy racing's global. I mean, you see these F1 and Indy cars and all that shit. I mean, they race all over the world. And
Monaco and it's an international circuit.
Oh yeah. And I mean, foreigners, non-Americans have won the Indy 500 in the past. Okay, so this guy's a Jap. He's probably the first Japanese guy to win it. I could be wrong.
I think you are right.
But yeah, I mean, so what? I mean, auto racing's kind of a big deal in Japan, kind of like baseball. Figured?
Auto racing's a big deal in Europe. People don't realize that.
I think a lot of people realize that.
What's like the newspapers report whenever I hear it all the time over there. What do they don't call it? Do they call it F1? Like there was one guy who he was a real famous guy. Did he get hurt or killed just a few years ago in a skiing accident? But they'll talk about like.
The only person I know that's ever been killed in a skiing accident is Sonny Bono.
Yeah, well, yeah, he's apparently Cher showed up naked at a freaking award show at 73 years old or something, or 71.
Oh, God, that's scary.
I'll tell you what. No, I tell you what. She didn't. I'll tell you what. No, she was working it, dude. I'm telling you. That was no joke. I mean. She wore this, skimpy outfit because she wanted to, that's kind of her shtick. And because she used to, remember she danced on like the freaking Missouri or the Iowa or something.
I remember that. Yes.
Well, yeah. This was in the same like percentage of clothing coverage, and people were blown. Everyone was Googling her ass. How old is Cher? And she's in her 70s. And straight up, I mean, I don't know if she looks like that all day, if what they had to do. But she was, dude, it wasn't like, why is grandma wearing that? I mean, she was pulling it off. I mean, was pulling it off. She looked better than a lot of 19-year-olds would look in that goddamn dress or whatever. Well, I don't know I don't know if you'd call that a dress. I don't know what that was.
Dental floss. I don't know. I haven't seen it. So
I don't know. It was like a sheer piece of cloth and some pasties. I don't know what the fuck that was, but she was pulling it off. But yeah, anyway, back to the racing guys. Like over there in Europe, they'll even like if the one of them breaks up with their girlfriend and dates somebody else, they'll report it and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and I mean, we do the same thing here in the United States. I mean, maybe not in mainstream papers, but like if you go down to like the Indianapolis Star, man, for at least a week, the whole paper is dedicated to racing, like around the 500. I mean, they cover it cover to cover, every page. It's incredible. And they do it in Daytona. They do it in a lot of racing towns.
I'll tell you what. You know what? I forgot to tell you this. We had some when they were doing time trials, probably 2 weeks ago, we had some staff members from over here who were in the pits up there, and I have video. I was going to post it just to these cars going by, just in the pits, and of course, there's like one racer. It's a girl, she's a blonde girl. I think she was British or something, and they're all over her. It's like, hi, check out the blonde girl who's racing these cars. Yeah. This is cool.
Sure.
I don't know, maybe I should send that to you.
No, she probably took Danica Patrick's place when she went over to NASCAR. Basically, she's the bumper that they all bounce off of.
Oh, no. I think this girl's probably pretty legit. I think she's been racing for like 15 years or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, this girl, if I were to be objective in my observations, I would say this girl isn't really quite as commercial as Danica Patrick, so she's not getting. This girl didn't get on into the NASCAR pits just on a centerfold. She probably can drive a car. And I'm sure Danica Patrick can drive a car too.
Not really.
No, I know you don't. You're not a big fan of Dan.
Well, look, I tell you what, she wrecks a car better than any man I know.
God Almighty, God damn it! I don't care. She's not. I can't.
It's the truth. It's the truth. Look at
if you pose in a centerfold of any magazine, you're not allowed to send me a letter. You're disqualified from sending me a letter complaining about anything. And I, as a matter of fact, I will send you back a copy of your letter with centerfold. Because you're not allowed. No. You're not allowed to fucking send me a letter. I don't know.
You can't complain if you've been a centerfold.
Well, you and I have talked about this. Again, I don't know shit about car racing, but I knew basic physics, and I don't know how much an average car racer weighs, but I assume even if they're short guys or little guys, they have to be muscular. And like I'm 235 pounds, so let's say.
You look at like my all-time favorite NASCAR driver was Mark Martin, and Mark Martin's about 4'3". I'm exaggerating. He's a short guy. He probably, if he weighs 120 pounds, you're lucky. But he's got a workout regimen like you. The guy worked out. He was a.
Because you gotta have some muscle to hold on to them cars for 500 miles.
and that was the thing. He's just like, hey, I'm a small guy. He's like, I have to work out because, I gotta drive this car at 200 miles an hour doing left-hand turns all day, and he has to muscle it,
Mm-hmm. Well, see,
these guys, they are physically fit. You have to be, or you can't drive.
You actually have proven my point, and unwittingly, because here's my theory. Okay, when you look at the horse racing guys, they tend to be little dudes, because the idea being, the horse wants to haul as little weight as possible across the finish line. So, I would, and. Again, I don't know shit about racing, but I assume they all operate on the margins. It's all about tire maintenance and fuel maintenance and, drag and just a little, because you're winning on the edges. And so here's the thing. If you take, if I'm 230 pounds and Mark Martin is 130 pounds or 140 pounds, and we are the same quality of driver, he should have more gas longer than I will because you outweigh him by 100 pounds.
Yeah, but see, you would think that, but that's not really the case.
Well, that's why I think like Danica Patrick and these chicks, these chicks weigh 100 pounds. If they can actually drive, they should, in theory, be winning.
But see,
Explain to me why.
Because there's so much different setup on the car. Okay, let me put it in terms.
Who was it you were telling me? Because I was somewhere traveling and I saw something with a driver, and you were like, "That guy's an asshole. He cheated." What? Who was that?
That was Rat Boy.
Okay, it was Rat Boy.
Yeah, what? Kurt Busch.
Rat Boy.
Yeah, I call him Rat Boy because he looks like a freaking rat.
Okay.
Look at his face. He looks like a rat. Anyway, these cars weigh X amount of pounds. And the thing is, you can set the car up they actually have lead blocks that they can slide in the body to distribute the weight. And you can adjust. Like, I'll give you a story. Years ago, I was talking to my brother, and my brother does Ironman competition, and
your brother's a stud, dude.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, I was talking to him about bike setup. I was setting up my bike, and, because he does, Ironmans and all that shit, he's logged more miles on a bike than I could ever dream of. But anyway, I was doing some research and I was talking about, lightening up things, because, you go onto the bike forums, and bike forums are just like gun forums. Everyone's a douchebag. They're talking about carbon fiber water bottle holders and carbon fiber this. And I was talking to him about that, and he's just like, look, he's like, you can deck out all your crap with carbon fiber. And he's like, what are you going to shave? A pound? And he said, I'm being generous when I say a pound. He's like, when I go into a race, he's like, I'll just lose a pound. He's like, does it matter if I lose a pound of weight or I shave a pound of weight off my body, off the bike? A pound is a pound. You and the bike become one. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, instead of using, an aluminum water bottle holder, an aluminum water bottle and cast aluminum brake calipers, I'm going to go with all this carbon fiber crap. And at the end of the day, okay, let's say you put all this carbon fiber shit on your bike and you shaved a pound and a half off your bike. And you probably wouldn't shave that much, but let's say you did. Well, okay, if you go into the race and you weigh 230, you know what? Go into the race weighing 225. Guess what? You just shaved 5 pounds off the bike.
Yeah.
You see? So it's the same thing with the car. You can weigh 230 and I can weigh 130, but you can balance that out and make it equal by tweaking the car itself.
Okay. Hey, remember, I'm going to come back to this because this is, again, the shit's coming across my desk. We were talking about Trump and people getting behind the curve and they're going to look like jackasses. This is TMZ. TMZ's homepage.
Yeah.
First story, Barron Trump thought beheaded image was his dad. Second story, Donald Trump, Kathy Griffin's beheaded photo traumatized son Barron.
I heard that.
Third story, Kathy Griffin, Secret Service investigating gory Trump photo. Let's see, fifth story, then fifth story, Trump Hotel, D.C., guest arrested after guns and ammo found in car. And then after that, it's the teacher and her boyfriend who are breaking up. So anyway, now I guess it's being reported Barron Trump was watching television Tuesday at home with Melania when Kathy Griffin's photo appeared on the screen, and his initial reaction was that something terrible had happened to his father. Trump family sources tell us Barron was in front of the TV watching a show. When the news came on, he saw the bloody beheaded image. We're told he panicked and screamed, "Mommy, Mommy." As it was put to us, he's 11. He doesn't know who Kathy Griffin is, and the head she was holding resembled his dad. Jesus, dude. I mean, this isn't Sean Hannity saying this. This is fucking TMZ saying this.
Yeah.
Jesus. This girl literally just slit her own throat.
Well,
but that's funny. Didn't Snoop Dogg do a video when they supposedly gunned down Donald Trump? No one cared.
Yeah, no one cared.
Yeah, I mean, didn't the left do? Did they make a video about the assassination of George W. Bush, or they made a movie about that? Back during no one cared.
No, and look, but the only real difference here is I know who Snoop Dogg is. I don't know who Kathy Griffith is. Griffith, whatever.
Yeah, Griffin. She doesn't get any respect. Everyone says her last name wrong. So.
I mean, I've never heard of her before. Seriously.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just terrible. So, that's really pretty much all I got, unless, I mean, some of this, some of the stuff we were going to talk about, I covered it in the podcast, in the Armory chat yesterday, like the key mod versus M-Lock debate, and I mean, I'm not going to, so.
Yeah, and I don't care about a key mod M-Lock. I don't give a shit about it.
Do you care about it? I was going to tell you about the guy who was arrested for scouting, the fake porn scout. So.
The fake porn scout. You know what? I think I heard something about that.
Dude, that has been like on my little outline for, I don't know, like 2 weeks, and I haven't found a reason to bring it up.
Wasn't he like supposedly like, scouting new talent for porn videos or something? And he had nothing to do with the porn industry. He was just like banging these babes.
Let's see. Let's go to the news.
On one hand, that's kind of ingenious. I'm not saying it's right, but I'm just like, wow, you know what? You want to get into the porn business?
It is. It's interesting. I don't know if this is the same one. This is one from last year. It's coming up. So, but I guess this guy's going around, and he auditioned dozens of victims.
Nice.
Jesus.
I mean, I know it's not nice. I mean, but I have to give the guy props. I mean, who sits around thinking, you know what? I'm going to set myself up as a fake porn talent scout, and I'm going to go out and see if I can't get. I mean, really think. I mean, damn.
I can't go into detail here, but I do have this was years ago, and we had detected somebody doing the same thing. We had received a woman had made a complaint that somebody was trying to turn her daughter out, and so
really? So this isn't a new scam.
Well, this happened now. This was Jesus. This must have been 95 or 96. And we set this guy up, and we got him, and it was just
So this guy didn't invent this scam. Some other people had done this.
There's
before.
no new ideas under the sun, dude. Yeah, so we set this guy up at a mall.
At a mall.
Yeah, because we agreed to meet. We had it all set up. He was going to meet this girl, and we bagged this motherfucker.
Nice.
Yeah, it was bad. Dude.
Nice.
It was so bad. Big fancy mall too. Can't go. So he was apparently hitting malls, and he would find these little girls that would work like in kiosks. So they're by themselves. He'd find like cute girls he would think are hot, and he would start working them when there's nobody around. Like he'd show up like maybe during the day or during the week, like early when there's not a whole lot of people, and he'd run his little scams. And I mean, that was out, dude. That had been no later than 96. Yeah, that was 95 or 96 when we did that one. So,
I'm damned.
So there was I was going to mention like the man who ran to the burning house twice to save his beer, but that one I can't ever find a reason to bring that one up. I was going to bring up Utah has brought back firing squads. I thought that was awesome, but I've never been able to figure out a way to bring that up, so I'm just bringing it up. So, and you had dude, I was literally shooting I was on the 1,200-yard range this past Monday, and you texted me something about some Mexican guy with $400,000 of fentanyl.
Yeah.
Or no, I'm sorry. No, we don't call it fentanyl. We call it elephant heron.
Elephant heron.
So I looked over my spotter. I'm like, yeah, buddy of mine. He's just texted me about some elephant heron that some guy got nailed with, and he was like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, "Yeah, don't worry about it." I get weird fucking. And then like, what was it? I got the text from. No, you sent it to me. Then I sent it to the SWAT guys. People you may know on Facebook, and it was a burned up body, and it was what's the guy from Fast and Furious?
Paul Walker.
Paul Walker. Somebody has a somebody. So, I mean, look. If you're easily offended, you can go ahead and check out now. Somebody has a profile on Facebook, and his name is Paul Walker. And if you're not familiar, there's a movie franchise called Fast and Furious, and all these cars.
Everyone's familiar with that.
You know what? See, I don't think I've maybe seen one of them.
Yeah, but you've heard about them. Because they've made like 20 of them.
They're still making them. So, someone's got a Facebook profile named Paul Walker, but they've got, it looks like an autopsy photo of somebody that was burned up in this thing is charred to hell.
Yeah, it's a charred body, and that's his profile picture on Facebook.
So you sent me this screenshot, and it said, people you may know on Facebook, and it had 2 or 3 different people, and one of them was Paul Walker with this burned out body. And oh man, it was terrible. It was. Dude, I tell you what, I'm so disappointed in you. That was terrible. I just can't even believe. You know what? You may have to go on hiatus from this podcast.
Okay, look. Okay, so you're out there shooting with a bunch of SWAT guys. Which one laughed?
Dude,
I know one of them did.
Dude, they all laughed. Dude, that shit goes.
Dark humor, man.
That shit goes. And I'll tell you what, I wanted to post at the Facebook, but they'd fucking shut us down.
Yeah, they would, but God damn, that's funny.
So, like all this funny shit that we used to post to Facebook, we now just send it to each other in text messages. So,
hey, before we shut this down, did you read the article I sent you about St. Louis PD?
Oh, you know what? I actually saved it. I didn't. It was. While it's loading, I'm going to go ahead and refresh what I remember. It's St. Louis, either the St. Louis Police Department or a Missouri Police Department is selling guns, and I don't know if it's a lot or if it's
a lot,
and it's 1.2 million.
Well, they're getting 1.2 million. What they're doing is they have a bunch of Berettas. They're switching over. I don't recall if they say what I think they're switching over to Glocks, maybe. But they were carrying Berettas, and they're selling those off to a guy who's buying them in bulk for several $100,000. I think it's like 350 Berettas or something like that. But left over from the oldie times, they have, I think it's 26 Thompson submachine guns.
Okay, I'm looking at the St. Louis Post-Dispatch has a story on it from yesterday. St. Louis police sell surplus weapons, including Tommy guns, for $1.2 million. Let's see here. St. Louis Police Department is selling a stash of guns that bring to mind Prohibition-era gangsters for cash to put a new handgun in every officer's holster, plus arm the department with a number of AR-15 rifles. The rifles and about 1,525 new 9mm Beretta handguns will be paid for. They're switching to Berettas. Will be paid for largely by the sale of 27 Thompson submachine guns. Yes. Some dating to 1920s. The proceeds from the vintage weapons will cover about half of the new arsenal, the first shipment of which is expected to arrive in August. The sale of the Berettas currently used by officers and other surplus weapons will make up the rest. Okay, this is either contradicting itself or they're dumping Berettas. Are they getting APXs? Are they dumping the 92 to get the striker gun?
I don't know.
This could be fucked up, but
yeah.
Let's see. Okay, let me. Here's the rest of it. The St. Louis Police Department decommissioned its Thompson submachine guns around 60 years ago. They have been stored in a basement bunker inside the police academy ever since. The guns, more commonly known as Tommy guns, were often the weapons of choice among gangsters during the Roaring '20s and 1930s, but they were also carried by lawmen at the time. In later years, FBI agents carried them. Chesterfield-based Police Trades is the broker for the $1.2 million deal, which was signed in January by then Chief, whatever. Let's see here. Is somewhat of a history buff with a, let's see here, a retired St. Louis police lieutenant is somewhat of a history buff with an affection for the iconic guns. He said he found original paperwork showing that the department paid about $125 a piece for the sub guns. The department's new handguns will cost $450 each. That's got to be the APX. The police department's purchasing procurement manager, blah, 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 the department's current Beretta handguns are more than 10 years. See, okay, this is where a lot of people don't understand. They may well be replacing these with 92s. There's a thing with a lot of police departments, especially with their liability insurance. They will have to replace guns about every 10 years. Whether the guns need to be replaced or not, they're on a 10-year schedule, and so you'll see guns surplus out when they're 10 years old. So these guns are going to be becoming obsolete, making replacement parts nearly impossible to come by, she said. One of them failed to fire during a training exercise. Well, that's interesting. If they're saying the parts are going to be hard to come by, they must not be getting the same gun. The additional equipment is purchased. The new handgun shipper said there'll be about $350,000 left over to buy a number of AR-15 rifles. Well, here's the thing. Are these guns going to be dealer samples? They're not registered, are they?
Well, apparently they are. But it's a little sketchy. When I say sketchy, I'm sketchy on information. I don't have all the full details. But because of they originally were going to sell them off individually, but, obviously the logistics of that, between getting your NFA paperwork and all that stuff, it would take too long. So what they did is they sold all the Thompsons to one guy who's an NFA dealer.
Actually, the dealer's in Kentucky.
Actually, I believe,
Kentucky-based Midwest distributors will pay $22,000 for each of the department's 27 Tommy guns,
which is a steal.
Yeah, that's a good goddamn. Apparently, let's see here. A local dealer appraised the department's collection in 2014 at $770,000 and includes a rare 1921 and 1927 Colts and a model made in 1942. So there's a World War II one that's probably like, the less fancy one.
Uh-huh.
So
now they did say in the article I read, they're keeping two of them to hang on the wall and display in their academy.
It would be good to keep just a couple for reference guns.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have them, yeah. So, okay, that's good to know. Once the companies buy the department surplus guns, they will be sold only to those who pass background checks. Here's the thing. They're talking like 90-day, or they're talking, it sounds like these guns are pre-May guns.
Yes. Yeah, that was the impression I got. So basically,
Damn.
With the impression what I got is they're transferable, which means there's going to be 25 or 27. I don't know if the 27 they're keeping two, or if they're keeping two and that leaves 27 they're selling. I'm not sure, but basically that means there's going to be 25 to 27 Thompsons flooding the market.
Which it would go a long way to, maybe lowering some of the prices a little bit, because the Thompsons, like, I got a buddy, I got a buddy who bought a Tommy gun from his department back in the 80s, and I think he paid $600 or $800 for it, which was, back in the,
that was a lot of money.
That's a lot of goddamn money, especially for a cop. But today, that gun's worth every bit. He's like, it's worth $25,000. I'm like, no, that gun's worth $35,000 because it's got like all kinds of shit with it.
I was at a gun show. It's a private gun show. You have to be a member or a guest of a member to go to it. It's still around. And this was back in late 80s. And the guy who bought this, you would know the name. I'm not going to mention his name, but you know who I'm talking about because he's probably the largest machine gun, dealer. He deals in like belt feds. He's probably the biggest belt fed collector and dealer in this part of the country.
We've discussed him before. Yep.
Yeah.
I think I know what you're talking about.
He bought a Thompson and he brought it over to the table I was working and showed it to me. And it was it looked like a doctor's bag, but it was bigger. It was a black leather case. And he opened the lids up and the Thompson was in there. And it had like 3 drum mags. It had all the accessories. It was loaded and it was beautiful. And I think he paid, and this was in the late 80s, I think he paid like, $1,500-$1,800 for it. Paid a lot of money for it. But it was all original. I mean, this is the way it came from the factory with the case and everything. And you just don't see them like that. And this thing was like mint.
Yeah. That's always one of the, whether it's machine guns or not machine guns, that's always one of the issues that I have with, because, we're both in the gun game. Super minty guns, while even if I could afford them, I typically will pass them up because I want to shoot guns and I don't want to, I'd rather not lose the money. We use them as reference guns in the library. We just don't have like shit behind glass on a wall.
Well, and that's the thing. Why should we eat the depreciation on a gun? I mean, look, if this thing's minty collector grade, it's not a gun for us.
Yeah. Because
generally,
but sometimes you can't find the guns you want to find. They're not if they're so rare.
Yeah.
Dude, I tell you what. We have a gun in the armory. We have a couple that I know are obviously unfired. But, dude, we have a gun in the armory. I was looking at it the other day. I am convinced this gun has never been fired. The Beretta AR-70 has never had a round through it. That gun is so clean, it's ridiculous. There's not a brass mark. There's nothing. The breech face. I don't think that gun's ever had a round because it came out of, like, somebody's private estate collection.
Yeah.
And I bet you that if we ever shoot a video of that gun, I'm pretty sure that gun is unfired.
Yeah, it very well could be. We have several unfired guns in the armory that I would like to change.
Yeah, when we get a freaking range, we don't have to shut down, other shit going on. That will be changing. So you get your ass out there and start shooting some more on video as opposed to just shooting around other people. So, here's like another thing on my list, and we're, I saw this, and I've been trying to find a way to bring it up for a long time, and it hasn't come up. Narcan-resistant strain of fentanyl hits the Midwest.
Yeah.
Did you hear about that?
I did, and this shit it's badass stuff.
Has it hit your area yet?
Yeah, it has.
Okay.
Look, this shit is so bad. Look, if you take it, you're going to die. And the thing is, there's no bringing you back. And I'm kind of actually okay with not bringing them back. I probably shouldn't say that, but
that's okay, Kathy Griffin. We're way down into fight. We're gonna,
Hey, look, I am not a fan of fentanyl. Every. You
mean Narcan?
Yeah. Well, I'm not a fan of fentanyl either, but yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. I'm not a fan of Narcan. Look, everyone talks about the heroin epidemic. And look, there is a heroin epidemic, But the problem is, it's not like all of a sudden heroin is just like this big ugly monster that raised its head. The truth is, we've had a heroin problem in this country for a lot of years. However, when people would overdose, they would die. Now they're not dying. I mean, we got guys that were Narcaning, and it's like their 6th and 7th time.
Yeah, what's really scary is this idea that you're Narcaning people back that would have died, and the only way that this cycle's coming to an end is when they OD, when they're driving and take other people with them. At what point is that? As a society, is that a good use of resources?
Well, so and here's the thing: these people, I mean, they know that they run the risk of falling out. So what they do is they go to shopping malls and they go to grocery stores. They go to Kroger's or your local mall, and they shoot up in the parking lot, because if they shoot up at home and they fall out, then there's no one to get help, and then they do die.
Let me stop you right there. You are saying stuff right now, you don't even realize it. You're using street lingo that's new since I've retired. Falling out. That's the street lingo for overdosing.
Yeah, when you OD, basically.
See, I mean, that's how deep in the game you are compared to where I'm at now. I don't know any of this fucking terminology.
Yeah, so all of a sudden, if they do it in a parking lot, someone's going to notice them in their car and call. And paramedics and the cops will arrive, and they'll Narcan their asses back to life. And hey, live another day to steal, because they're all thieves.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So the thing is, the heroin epidemic is such a noteworthy epidemic today, because you have guys and girls, men and women out there that should have been dead years ago. But because of Narcan, they, live to shoot up another day.
Yeah.
Then they're spreading hepatitis. They're spreading HIV.
Oh God, dude, the hepatitis thing is going to be. That's probably going to. I mean, that's going to be the big thing when they start figuring out how many people have Hep C now.
Oh, it's between the heroin and the tattoos. And I know every time I mention tattoos, all the guys with tattoos get crazy. But the truth is, hepatitis hangs in your system. It can hang in your system 20, 30 years before you even know you have it. And look, you're going to find all these guys out there and girls with all the, that have tattooed their entire freaking body, and they're in their 20s. They're going to find when they're in their 40s and 50s, they have hepatitis. Now, fortunately, there's a cure for Hep C. That's good news for them.
Is an actual cure now?
Yes, there is an actual cure for it. The problem is,
because didn't Tommy Lee and his ex-wife, didn't they come down with Hep C?
Yeah, and they're both cured.
They are cured.
Yeah.
Are they really cured? Are they like...
No. There's
Magic Johnson's cure to AIDS?
No. See, let me tell you a thing about Magic Johnson. He's got HIV. I don't think he's full-blown AIDS. But see, he's a carrier.
He's patient zero?
No. He's not patient zero.
He's a gay French-Canadian flight attendant?
No, but here's the thing. The HIV doesn't affect him. I mean, it does affect him because he has it, but it doesn't affect him like it affects most people. It attacks their system. He's what they call a carrier, opposed to I don't know what the terminology is, but that's the reason he's been able to function so many years with it.
Well, they portray it that it's because of the meds and his regimen and his diet and whatever he does.
And that is true. That all adds to it. But the type he has with his body system, he doesn't. It's not as debilitating as it would be to someone else.
Okay.
He carries it, but it doesn't really attack his immune system the way it attacks other people. Okay, but the thing is, with the Hep C cure, it's like, I don't know, it's like 80 or 90 grand for the cure.
Holy shit!
It's expensive. You have to be rich, but there is a cure. And that's a step in the right direction. It'll eventually become it'll eventually become an affordable thing. But the killer right now, what's worse than hepatitis C is hepatitis B. And there is no cure for that.
See, I don't really, I know that there's A, B, and I guess C. I don't know that much about the hepatitis.
There's quite a few different strands of hepatitis. Hep C is the more common one, but Hep B's bad because Hep B you can transfer hepatitis B through saliva and shit. I mean, it's bad, and there is no cure for it.
See, here's we're getting into, or you know what, if we're having a good conversation, we'll just keep going. Look, I in my days have really moved into some. I've moved among some pretty rarefied circles, and I've met a lot of either celebrities or notorious people or celebrity-et people. And when you get to know these people or get to be around them or see how they're really behaving when there's no cameras, like you find out like Pamela Anderson and Tommy Lee have Hep C. It's like, oh, I'm so shocked. I've just seen stuff where you're just like, these people. I can't say anything that's not public record because I'll get a letter and it'll actually hit us. So I can say shit that is public record, like what was it? It came like Paris Hilton, like her medication for one of her diseases, it had come out publicly. There's, what was it? Who's Tiger Blood guy?
Charlie Sheen.
Charlie Sheen. So I can use him as an example. Okay. Charlie Sheen is a very well-known Hollywood personality. Okay.
Oh yeah.
And this is, think about Charlie Sheen before all this shit came out about him having HIV. Okay. He was going to all these different, the usual places in LA and sometimes internationally, picking up these girls, sometimes porn stars. He was carrying so much shit that he literally had these girls signing non-disclosure agreements about his medical history. And these bitches were signing this stuff. And here's the thing. If you are at home and you think Charlie Sheen and his lawyers are the smartest lawyers in the world and they came up with this stuff, you are living in a fucking cave. Because the amount of people, the shit that's out there and what's going on and what the NDAs that people have to sign and what the rumors that you hear about people, that turn out to be true. Or, it's crazy. You hear these crazy ass rumors and, you start being like, goddamn tabloids and this, and then you're around long enough and you start realizing, dude, if half the shit that what we hear is true, and it looks like at least half of it is, this is insanity what goes on. And they cover it up. It's the amount of people walking around with shit dripping out of them.
Oh yeah, I know.
There's people that are, going to hospitals, killing themselves, meeting these starstruck, banging these people, and it's out of control. How some of the shit is. The stuff I've seen is just, it's unreal. It's exhausting, and you start. This is me personally, kind of like I kind of get to a point where if somebody is of a certain level up above or on higher, I just kind of like, okay. I just have to assume. I hate to say that, but it's true.
Well, all I can tell you is, now granted, I work in the ghetto, so, I'm not seeing any high-priced hookers, but if Charlie Sheen can get AIDS from hookers, any one of our listeners that likes to go out there and buy $20 hookers, dude, stop. Because all the hookers I run into on a daily basis, and I see quite a few of them, man, Dude, there's not enough money in the world.
Yeah.
They're bad. Hey, but you know what? Speaking of not enough money in the world, I just read an awesome headline. It actually has nothing to do with money in the world. But coming this November, the Sydney Peace Foundation has announced that they are giving Black Lives Matter a global peace prize. Wow, it was hard to say that without actually laughing.
Wow.
Now, it's November. Now, a lot can happen between now and November to make that change, but wow, a global peace prize.
Damn. Yep. I mean, whatever. Look, Barack Obama got, the Nobel Peace Prize. I mean, if that is not just the worst.
Well, he got the Nobel Peace Prize just for winning the presidency, it's like, okay, well, basically, and look, if you look at who's been the recipient of the Nobel Peace Prize for the last decade, that's why no one gets excited about it or takes it seriously. The Nobel Peace Prize is a joke.
Yeah, look, just, Donald Trump's president. He went on his first international trip. He goes in the Middle East, and then he goes to Europe. And the Europeans aren't happy because they're not paying their fair share. They're not paying their 2%. And there's some stuff going on. So lo and behold, Barack Obama decides to go over to Europe, like the same week. And it's just like, because no one's really putting it this way. He's trying to basically shit on Trump's, European tour.
Sure.
And it's just, these people are just a bunch of little, just inbred little fucking starfuckers giving each other Nobel Peace Prizes. And, they shit on all of us. They don't care what we have to say. We're stupid. They're smart. They have all the answers. We don't. Hey, if somebody blows up a ice cream shop or shoots up Trump Tower, well, it's okay. He was on a list. We knew about that guy, so it's fine. Yeah. Okay. Great, I think. Okay. How he was on a watch list. Okay, that works.
Yeah.
Hey, May 15th, guy went fishing, caught a Glock.
Okay.
It looks it's a pocket Glock. It's either a 26 or 27. Let me see here.
Okay, so it was a burner gun that got dumped.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, or let's see. Let's see. Let's see here. A few months ago, apparently someone cast a slab zone lure and reeled in a pistol. It's a picture of a Glock. It's a. Let's see, there's a caliber on it. I can't make out. It's a pocket Glock. It's either 20. It could be. It's not a 45, and I guess in theory it could possibly be a 357 SIG, but it looks like it's a 26 or 27. Tell you what, it's surprisingly. It's got some rust on it, but you could clean that up.
Yeah,
that's pretty. It looks like it's a Gen 3, maybe.
Probably hasn't been in there that long.
You know what? Or it could be, hey, look, everybody, I caught this Glock in the river because I just found it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to send you the video of the guy trying to do a J-turn with his Range Rover and he rolls it.
Nice.
This is just. Let me send this to you, and then we're going to wrap this one up because we're just. Let me. Come on, here we go. I want you to. Here we go. Send it to Freeze. Also, so it's coming over now. J turns.
Yeah.
Let's see. Half dozen attempting a high speed J turn. Blah, blah, blah. Let's see here. High center mass. Let's see. Here's the full video. Oh, dude, he had like all kinds of stereo equipment in the back. He rolled this thing. There's a GIF or whatever.
Yeah.
And then does it come across yet in your email?
Yeah, I got it. I'm pulling it up now.
Okay. I tell you what, if you look at this guy. If you see him, was he? I don't.
Dude, he was flying.
Well, dude, have you ever done a J turn? You gotta you have got to fucking get moving.
Yeah, but you're not supposed to like go up over the curb and through grass either, though.
Yeah, I don't know. He may have used his brakes. I don't know if you can.
No, you know what? Yeah, his brake light is one at the top comes on
right before it breaks from him rolling it. So yeah. But it's interesting is the way he crashed. It almost looks like he was trying to land in that double driveway. That's $100,000 car.
What is that, a Range Rover?
Yeah, I always get them confused. It's Range. I can never get Range Rover.
Land Rover.
It's the British car, and the British ones are expensive.
Man, all the stereo equipment flew out the back.
Isn't that awesome? So here's what I guess I'm bringing this up for a reason. So at the end of this podcast, on John1911, I'm going to post some pictures. I'll put the picture of Paul Walker's profile. That's playing out loud. Okay, so Paul Walker's. I'm going to put the picture of Paul Walker's profile. I'll put a picture of the Tommy guns from St. Louis in the comments section, and if I can figure out how to, I may grab this video and I may put this up there too, of the guy doing the J turn in the in this thing. So. All right.
It's a Range Rover, by the way.
Range Rover, yeah. Okay, so all right. Anything you want to say before I throw this out?
No, not really. Okay. I think we covered just about everything and offended just about everyone we can offend.
I haven't gotten a letter in a while. Okay, so this wraps up episode 63 of the John1911 Podcast. If you want to see the pictures that I was talking about, you just go to john1911.com. Episode 63 will post it up there. Special thanks to our audio engineer, Mitch at A&M Promotions, for keeping us sounding good on the internet. And remember, it's all about shooting guns and having fun. Everybody, have a good day.
See you later.